James Blackwood, along with his brothers Roy and Doyle and his nephew R.W., started the Blackwood Brothers Quartet in 1934. In 1950, their base was Memphis, Tennessee. In the early 50s, they bought their own plane and began flying to concerts. They got their biggest break in 1954 when they won the Arthur Godfrey Talent Scout contest on CBS Radio and Television Network.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. We're mighty glad to see this great crowd here tonight, gathered here for some great gospel and spiritual singing. We hope you'll enjoy the numbers we have for you, and we're going to start things off in a kind of a lively way by singing for you a rollin', a riding, and a rockin'. Rolling, at my waist I am unfolding, soon I'll reach my home in heaven by and by, and the temple song.
3 weeks later, their plane crashed in Clanton, Alabama, taking the lives of R.W. Blackwood and Bill Lyles. James vowed to quit singing.
We had the plane crash in 1954, and Bill Lyles, our bass, and R.W. were both killed. I, at first, did not think I'd ever sing again. In fact, when the Statesman put me in their car that night after the plane crash in Clanton, Alabama, and took me to Memphis, I told them that I'd never sing again. That we had just won the Arthur Godfrey Talent Scout show, most popular show on TV, and the first gospel group to be on nationwide television. We had a record in RCA's top 10 sellers, and thousands of people coming out every time we went, a place we went to sing. And I didn't think I could ever sing again, but Hovey and Jake and all of them said, well, James, you have to sing, you have to sing. So after a lot of prayer, not only my part, but I'm sure many thousands of people praying for me, I decided the Lord did want me to go on and sing.
The Blackwoods had said something about us, Sunshine Boys, had the audacity to say that we wasn't living right. We could not believe it. And we sent Ace Richmond, sent R.W. word that he's going to whip him. And old tough J.D. sent James word I was going to whip him. That proves I got some sense. But when I was sitting in my living room and the plane crash came on the air, I knew. Something told me, because I had just gotten saved, and something told me that I was going to go with the Blackwood Brothers, something I never thought I'd do. And I can truthfully say, God being my keeper, J.D. Sumner is what he is tonight because of this little peckerwood right here.
James Blackwood loved people. He always attended the Grand Ole Gospel Reunion until last year after he'd suffered the stroke.
I'm glad that he had this idea. I think it's wonderful if I had one event of the year to go to, and it's the only one I could go to, I would attend the Grand Ole Gospel Reunion in Greenville, South Carolina. I appreciate what Charlie is doing. Much like, you know, when J.D. and I had the idea of the National Quartet Convention and started back in the 50s, and then this idea of the Grand Ole Gospel Reunion came along. I think there's a lot of emphasis put on the new groups that start, and that's fine. But I think a lot of people tend to forget about the older people, the people that paved the way for the young ones to make gospel music what it is today. I know that my brothers and I started back during Depression years and almost starved to death singing gospel music, but we never gave up. And I know I've been asked many times what is the most important ingredient, and I always say dedication. And a lot of people see the glamour maybe of the present day, of the big buses and all of this, the glamour that goes with it. But there were days when we old-timers didn't have the big air-conditioned buses to travel in. We traveled in a plain old automobile and paved the way for what gospel music is today.
Saints of by just over in the